It's time for Real SEO Tube Talk, everyone's favorite podcast for YouTube tips. This is episode 35 for Wednesday, August 6th, 2014. My name is Dane Golden of Octoly, calling in from Los Angeles. And from Magnet Media and Vidi SEO, calling in from Chicago, it's Matt Ballack.
Well, hey, good morning, Dane. It's great to be here.
Great to have you. Tim Schmoyer's off for the next few weeks, and filling in this week for Tim from videoresults.com and viewability.co.uk. He's the master of AdWords for video, also known as Trueview, calling in from London, England, and the United Kingdom. Dum, 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 dum. It's Tom Breeze.
Hey, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And Tom, it's so great to have you fill in for Tim today. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I run a UK video advertising agency called Viewability. It's part of our bigger company called Video Results. And yeah, we specialize in video advertising and primarily really pre-roll advertising. Not just in the UK, we have a lot of clients across different continents. And yeah, we specialize in making sure that we create video ads that work and get clients, customers, and leads in terms of whatever sort of campaign they're looking to run.
And you're working with a couple of clients now, and you're doing some A/B testing where you've had really exceptional results, right?
Yeah, more than a couple. We work with a whole host of different types of clients. Some more primarily offline, like restaurants and gyms, for example, and more local business. And then we work with much larger companies who might be online and big corporates. But we do a lot of work as well with YouTubers who might be looking to grow their audiences, gain a greater reach really out there as well. And so, yeah, we tend to focus less on the creative side and more on leads and getting the sales curve pointing upwards, really.
Okay, so we're excited to have some tips from you coming up at the end of your third position today. And we're going to get right to our three quick YouTube tips, as we always do, starting with Matt Ballack. What is the video optimization process? Matt, we talk about this a lot, but we really haven't broken it down. And at Magnet Media, you do some very specific things. And I wondered if you could talk about those.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Because I head up our strategic distribution side of the business at Magnet Media. And so we've sort of broken down our YouTube offerings or service offerings into three categories. We'll provide YouTube auditing or video content strategies where you can just sort of take that out of the box and run with it with your own team. But we also provide some promotion and video optimization, or what we would call like a channel management services at Magnet Media as well, just to help our clients get more value and drive more business results from their YouTube channel. And I would say part of that is not only making sure all new content that you've uploaded is optimized and you're taking advantage of all of YouTube's best practices and feature offerings. Some of that is actually going back in and looking at your video archive. We've worked with plenty of clients where they have some great content or content that is already performing well or has the possibility to perform well if it was just optimized and organized correctly. So for a lot of our clients, what I think we talked about a bit at the Real Summit was I always run this quick little test, and that is look at the number of views that your YouTube channel has gotten in total for a certain amount of time. You can even pull it up for all of last year. And then look at that same time period on your website analytics and see how many YouTube referrals that you have gotten on your website. So for a lot of companies, that number is a gigantic difference where they're showing maybe a couple thousand or 100,000 views, but only a handful of actual referral visits. Mm-hmm. And so for me, and part of the work that we do at Magnet is going back in and making sure that these videos are optimized, but they're also driving to proper pages or landing pages on your own site. And that way you can actually start to see which videos do work to help drive business and which ones don't. And then you can sort of tweak your strategy from there.
And there were some specific points you did. For instance, driving key metrics. There was a couple of key points in the process I wanted you to outline, if you could. Like there was discoverability and subscriptions. What are those exactly?
Yeah, those are, and talked a bit about this at the Real Summit as well. But it's about setting up your videos and kind of grouping them into different categories and then pairing up those groups with different success metrics. So not all videos are going to have or be useful for the same KPI or same goal. But if you organize your content, you can actually create reporting groups within your YouTube analytics and set different goals for different types of videos. So some goals include things like discoverability, growing your audience or adding new subscribers. Some videos you're created just to create audience engagement, and then of course the views are still a metric, even though they're not the only metric. We still want to create content that actually gets seen as well. But those are just like 4 kind of basic categories that we can organize your content around as well.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you had the hub hygiene and whatever the other one is before they were talking about it.
We were getting close. We just didn't have the alliteration going.
Oh, I'm missing it, guys. Help me out. Hub hygiene and hero.
Hero. Yep. Those are for brands. That's the
YouTube methodology. Tom Breeze, what do you think of this methodology of optimization? Do you do a similar process for your clients as well, or do you focus more on the Trueview AdWords?
We've run a lot of SEO campaigns for clients in the past, and yeah, we tend to find that when building out a much larger channel for a client, you tend to find that you get much greater reach in due course. The thing I like about the fact that when you group your content together, especially with things like playlists as well, you tend to find that you might set up a playlist and actually promote the playlist. But what we found is that if you promote a video inside of a playlist that follows on to more content that you might have, we tend to find that we get really good results in terms of exposure and rankings from those videos that are almost like starting the chain of more videos to be watched in due course. And I presume that's from the fact that YouTube are increasing their ad revenues as well. So they reward those videos that get people engaged with more of your content. But we tend to find that when grouping it together and people stick on the videos and stay around and find out more content, so we might make 5 tips about something, but make that into 5 different videos. We'll find we get really good rankings for like tip number 1 that would then follow on to tip number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. So organizing content is critical, I think, when it comes to getting your YouTube channels organized in the right way.
Excellent point. Okay, moving on to my tip for today my tip is Creator Up. Creator Up it's an online learning and certification process. It's designed for video creators, the people who are doing the production. We don't talk much about production here, but that's super, super essential because you don't have video without somebody producing something. And what a guy named Mike Tringe, who runs Creator Up, has done is he's brought together these great directors, producers, editors from around YouTube and created this course, a number of courses. There's seems to be dozens of them now. I think it's only been going on for a year or two. And he has a certification program. It seems like if you want to do the certification program, it's about $300, or I think you can do a la carte. But I just wanted to run through some of these. Run through some of these courses. It's creatorup.com, and just wanted to tell you they have things like crowdfunding deathmatch, how to direct a comedy web series, tips for cinematographers on visual storytelling, how to edit videos using different styles, how to make a web series, how to develop fundraising video for nonprofits, how to make a business video for customers, and on and on. And I really think that this is an excellent resource for so many people, even if you're not in the production area. Like, I don't really deal with production too much for myself, but the idea that you can get, some sort of breadth of knowledge so that you understand what the people you're working with need to go through, I think is really essential. So I just wanted to give a shout out here, and my tip today is just talking about Creator Up. Again, it's run by a guy named Mike Tringe, Tringe, and that's just creatorup.com. And I really think that people should check it out and try some of the courses. What do you think, Tom Breeze? You think this is a good idea for someone to do? Have you heard of people doing this?
I haven't heard too much about it. I know that there's been a big development of late, people developing channels and wanting to get their material out there. But I think, yeah, that's brilliant. I didn't know that actually existed. Is it just in the US, or is there anything going on in the UK? Do you know?
I don't know if there's any UK built resources, but these are all online stories, cool. Online courses. So anyone can take them.
Brilliant.
So there's just a ton of how to do voiceovers, make animated graphics. It goes on. And it's sort of like lynda.com, or we have other friends who are doing great training like VidPow and others. But this is really around production.
It's really good because I think a lot of people get into YouTube, want to be successful on YouTube, and then sometimes get a little bit confused about the how-to. So what should they create their videos about? How do they get their content out there? How to create the videos in the first place. So yeah, I love that idea.
Matt Ballack, what's missing here, of course, is how to do screen capture of Minecraft videos.
Right, which is a big part of my business.
Do you think this is a good idea for a resource?
Oh, absolutely. Any kind of education around the production side of things. I know you mentioned lynda.com, but I know they were essential when I first started making video. And sometimes it can just add some new inspiration, or you can find a new editing technique or something that'll actually help increase engagement on your content. Because if you can become a better editor, add some more visual effects or flair to your content, you'll see your watch time increase along with it. So sometimes a tutorial is just the nudge you need to try something new and different, and could have a really long-lasting positive effect.
Yeah, and that's lynda.com, by the way, LYNDA, and they do a lot of all sorts of different types of technical training. But if you ever want some good entertainment and a good example of how to do something really interesting, go to Matt's channel. He doesn't do as many videos now with his job, but it's vidiseo.com. It's just, Matt, I've always just loved your approach. You must spend so much time editing and cutting. It's just amazing the videos you've done. They're just so entertaining when you're just telling somebody just a YouTube tip. So,
oh, thanks, Dane.
really love your videos, and I wish you would find time. They would give you more time to do them, because they're just awesome. Anyway, so moving on to Tom Breeze's tip, just sort of 3 general tips about YouTube advertising today, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I just want to follow up with what you just mentioned there,
good.
Dane. With Matt. Yeah, I remember watching one of your videos, Matt, well, many years ago now. And it was the first time I realized that business and humor could actually sit side by side. And it made me help you create a lot of other videos that, I mean, in the UK, we don't really tend to find that we're that funny, but we tend to think we're quite funny, which is the main thing. But no, I really appreciated that. That was one of the first videos that stuck in my head, especially when I started getting into the video field. So thank you for that.
Oh, it's so cool. Thank you.
Great. So what are you on today, Tom?
Okay, so I want to talk about 3 tips. I know I'm meant to be talking about 1 tip.
No, that's good.
I thought I'd over-deliver a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about pre-roll advertising on YouTube. And what I do is I run a lot of different campaigns for different clients, and I'm always testing. I'm a bit of a geek like that, really. So if I'm going to do a video, I'll turn it into 10 videos and see what I should change to make it better. But this is the same stuff that I actually worked with Gideon Shalwick on some of his stuff, and I managed to increase his click-through rates by 446% from his pre-roll ads. So I thought that'd be a good place to start and share with you some of the stuff.
That's a real number, 446%.
Yeah, 446. Yeah, we tested quite rigorously on lots of different types of videos, and that was from starting original video to where we are now. That's where we're sitting at the moment. So
wow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of improvement on the videos that we've worked on, but it's for his company V-Roll, and it's a great platform, especially if we're getting into YouTube advertising, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely want to have him on at some point, but we'll do that in the future. So,
yeah.
So what? Okay. So pre-roll ads.
Yeah. So let's talk about them because
first of all, pre-rolled simply the video that comes on as an ad before a video you click on.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's also called Instream, but I think most people call it pre-roll. Instream ads. The reason I like them is because you can show those videos to very, very targeted audiences, and at the same time, you don't have to pay for them unless someone watches past 30 seconds of your video. So that's the only time you pay for it, unless, of course, your video is less than 30 seconds in length. And if that's the case, then you pay when someone reaches the end of your video. But that means just don't create videos that are less than 30 seconds in length. That's the main thing. But in terms of some tips then, so tip number one, I would always say, if you can, get in the video itself. So be either the presenter or have a presenter for your company appear in the ad. A lot of people ask me that question of, can I get away with animation videos and kind of doodle videos, etc.? And of course, they still work, but you'll get much better results if you're in the video itself. And I've been testing exactly the same scripts, one being a doodle video and one me being in the video itself. And we actually got a 64% increase in clicks from the impressions when I was in the video compared to a doodle video. We got a 132% increase in website conversions. So I think there's a connection with the person in the video itself. And also it cut our cost per conversion down by 76%. So we found that we were getting so many more conversions, but at a lot cheaper rate. And it worked out, I've converted it into dollars, it worked out instead of around about $7.13, we got it down to $1.72 when we decided to be in the video itself as opposed to a doodle video. So it still works with the animation, but it definitely works better when you're in the video itself.
Conversion in this case would be someone clicking.
No, that would be conversion would be once they've landed on the landing page, they leave their name and their email address or whatever the campaign might be about. For that instance, it was to sign up for more training videos from one of the campaigns I was running. But
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that these results are taken from one campaign, but these results kind of carry through in a similar style across many different types of campaigns, especially with online training. This is most of where this has come from, because it's just easy to track and it's easy to give a clearer number as opposed to like telephone calls from a restaurant ad, for example.
Great.
The second tip, and I think I spoke about this just a second ago, with the fact that you pay when kind of 30 seconds is up. The way to look at your video, the one you create, is to look at it as two pitches as opposed to one pitch for your video. So the way to do that is to think about it saying, okay, well, you've got until 30 seconds till you pay, so you might as well get a good video. Let's call it 40 seconds in length for now. If you create a 40-second video, you want to think about it in two parts. So getting someone to click through to your website before 30 seconds is up is always a useful step to take. So maybe give a pitch for 25 seconds and then maybe kind of have a bit of a pause time there to let people make a decision to click back to your website or click away from the ad. But then once the 30 seconds is up, then you want to kind of re-engage them again and see if you can convert them again at that point. Because you're going to find you get a lot more bang for your buck, so to speak. You're going to get a lot more people coming through to your website. And it may just mean that you don't have to pay anything for when they do arrive at your website, which is that's a nice way of keeping the cost down for your ad spend.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this podcast and you just heard that second tip by Tom, rewind it and listen again. He just gave you a way to get free advertising and in a very effective way. So, and what was the third part?
So the third part is kind of choosing the type of campaign you want to go for. So, I mean, this is purely for in-stream and pre-roll ads, so we haven't spoken about in-search or in-display ads, etc., and keeping this to the YouTube platform. But the first area to focus on is probably going to be if you've got a remarketing list, start there. That's always a good idea. Not many people know that you can actually set up a remarketing list for people that engage with your videos online. So any of your YouTube videos, if people like them, share them, kind of comment upon them, you can set up remarketing lists based on that. And also if they've seen some of your videos as ads, then you can do that as well. So getting back in front of those people with different ads is always a useful step. But you can also go via placements, which work very well, and keywords as well. Those three areas tend to be the best for starting off a campaign. But depending on your area that you might be focusing on, topics and interests can work. But I would say to focus primarily on remarketing and placements to begin with. Those two areas work exceptionally well. So those are my three tips.
I think a double by Matt Ballack today, talking about the Magnet Media process, the video optimization process. I think I hit a single with Creator Up, and then we were on base, and then Tom Breeze hit a grand slam. I don't know the cricket analogy, but it was, I don't know, a wicked.
I think it's a six.
A wicked googly. I don't know what that is. So, but just really incredible, Tom, and we'll look more for that. But we'll wrap up here until next week. You can find our podcast on reelseo.com. That's REELSEO.com. You can download it for free on the iTunes Store or on your phone via the Stitcher, the Swell, the Podcast Republic for Android, and various other podcast apps. Matt Ballack, until next week, how can people find you?
People can find me at VidiSEO, VIDISEO on YouTube or magnetmediafilms.com.
And Tom Breeze, how can people find you?
Best place is the website, so viewability.co.uk, or just send me an email, tom@viewability.co.uk.
Viewability.co.uk. And I'm Dane Golden, so find me at Dane Golden everywhere, or hey.com, or Octoly, OCTOLY. Until next week, keep talking to